we'll be going through quadratic equation today. Just a brief overview of the topic. So you feel free to ask every necessary question. The major reason why I'm doing this is because some of you found it difficult when we're solving questions under number basis, and I decided that I should also analyze this quadratic equation for you so that you can easily solve questions whenever you see them later on in life. So the first part is every quadratic equation is in the format ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So take note, every quadratic equation tends to 0. Every quadratic equation tends to 0. So there are some questions, there are some also aspects we call polynomials, so we have quadratic, we have polynomials, we have so many of them like that. So our focus today is on quadratic equation. Now make sure you know this 0. Now the next part is this b represents sum of roots. B represents sum of roots, while C represents product of roots. Represents sum of roots, while C represents product of roots. Product of roots. So if you know this part very well, every other thing we are going to say is going to be like child's play to you. So meaning that in quadratic equation, we are looking for two numbers that we can add together to give us B, and two numbers we can multiply together to give us what? C. So two numbers we can add together to give us B, and two numbers we can multiply together to give us C. That's the first thing. Then also take note that there are so many ways to solve quadratic equation, but today I will only analyze this method just to give you an easy way to solve quadratic equation. Then later on, we can go into the various formulas and so many of them. There's even one they call almighty formula. So today we are going to go through some of them together. Now, like I said, the A is just the number that could be here. So if A has something, there's something here now, a number here, then there will be a new method we'll use to solve it. But for this aspect, let's focus our attention on what I said. Here you find two numbers that you add together to give you B, then two numbers you can multiply together to give you C. So we have a question here now. X squared minus 2x equal to 8. Okay, so let's check this question out. X squared minus 2x equal to 8. It says solve this quadratic equation. Now, if you want to solve this quadratic equation, remember that we said everything tends to 0. So in this part, if it's tending to 0, how will we go about it? You make sure that 0 is the last part there. So you take 8 to the other side, that's to the left hand side. So we have x squared. We have x squared minus 2x. 8 is plus, so plus coming to the other side will become minus. Minus 8 equal to 0. Like I said, find two numbers you can add to give you what? 2, and two numbers you can multiply to give you what? 8. So let's break 8 down. This is 8 now. 8 is 8 times 1. 8 times 1 is 8, but 8 plus 1, is it 1? Is it 2? No. Now we have 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8, right? But if you add 4 and 2, will it give you 2? No. But in a situation, we have minus 8 here. How about we write minus 4 plus 2? Minus 4 times plus 2 is what? Minus 8. Now, minus 4 plus 2 will give you what? Minus 2. So meaning that our answer has to be minus 4 and plus 2. So we are going to write x squared minus 4. But because there is x here, you write x. So minus 4x plus 2x minus 8 equal to 0. X squared minus 4x plus 2x minus 8 equal to 0. Then the next step we are going to factorize. The next step is called factorization. So we factorize. Factorize, that's looking for the numbers or the letters that are common. So x is common here. Now if you remove x from x squared, you have x. If you remove x from x squared, it will give you x. Then the next part, if you remove x from minus 4x, to give you minus 4. You remove x from minus 4x to give you minus 4. Minus 4. Then the next part, you are going to factorize again to check. You are going to factorize again to check. Now, in this place, 2 and minus 8, what's common? We have 2 common, and we don't have any other thing common. So we are going to bring 2 out. Now, after bringing 2 out, from my own observation, we are going to have x. Then, if you remove 2 from 8, what will it give you? 4, because 4 times 2 is 8. Now, take note, whenever you are solving quadratic equation whatsoever, whenever you are solving quadratic equation, take note that this is equal to this. So the words inside the bracket must be the same. If they are not the same, there is a very big problem. So make sure words in the brackets are the same. Now, the next step after doing that, you are going to pick one of the brackets. So what's in the bracket? X minus 4. The next part, pick what is outside the bracket. So here we have x plus 2. So they are outside the bracket. Now, the last part, which I always tell my student, you equate the bracket to 0. You have x minus 4 equal to 0. So meaning that x equal to 4, because minus 4 coming to the other side will become plus 4. Or you have x plus 2 equal to 0. Now, if x plus 2 equal to 0, you are going to take this 2 to the other side, becoming minus 2. So x equal to minus 2. So there are two ways. Ensure that you equate the bracket. The first part is to find the roots. Now, to find the roots, we have the sum of the roots and the product of the roots, where b stands for the sum of the roots, while c stands for the product of the roots. The sum of the roots is 2 numbers you can add together to give you b, and 2 numbers you can multiply together to give you c. Now, if you can get the numbers you can add and multiply to give you b and c, the next step is to factorize. After factorizing, you what now? You make sure the numbers in the bracket, or the letters and numbers in the bracket, are the same. If they are the same, you are on the right path. Then if they are the same, the next step is to ensure that you equate the bracket to 0. After equating the bracket to 0, you will get your final answer, which is 4 and minus 2 for this particular question. So we have another question, which I will also write down on the board as well too. So let's check out this other question. We have x squared minus 5x minus 6. X squared minus 5x minus 6 equal to 0. Now, to solve this particular question, you know our b is minus 5. Then our c is minus 6. So we are going to check 6. This is 6 now. 6 equal to 3 times 2. Now, if 6 is 3 times 2, what we have here is minus 5. 3 plus 2 is what? 5. 3 plus 2 is 5. But what we have here is minus 5. And what we have here is minus 6. So we have to look for 2 numbers we can multiply together to give you what we want. So let's check minus 3 and minus 2. If we multiply them together, will it give us what we want? No, because it gives us plus 6. How about we write 6 is equal to 6 times 1? Now, if 6 is 6 times 1, is it going to give us 6? No. But if we have minus 6 times 1, it's going to give us minus 6. So meaning that minus 6 plus 1 is minus 5. So meaning that our answer is what? Is good. So we have x squared minus 6x plus x, because you don't need to write 1x, plus x minus 6 equal to 0. So we are going to what now? Factorize x. Bring out x from x squared. We have x minus 6. Because if you remove x from 6x, you have minus 6. But what's common here? There's nothing common. So you have plus 1 because there is nothing common. You bring out the bracket x minus 6 equal to 0. So what did I say? The next part is choose or pick one of the brackets, x minus 6. The next part, pick what's outside the bracket, x plus 1 equal to 0. The next part, equate the bracket, x minus 6 equal to 0 or x plus 1 equal to 0. The next part, take minus 6 to the other side, x equal to 6 or x equal to minus 1. X equal to 6 or x equal to minus 1. So we have one last question. I will check out one last question. Let's see. Let's check out one last question. Okay, so in a situation where we have x squared minus 4 equal to 0, I noticed that some of us have this challenge. It occurred at some point in time. There's something called difference of two squares. So when you have x squared minus 4, it implies that we have x minus 4 and x plus 4 equal to 0. Because if you multiply what we have here, x times x squared, we have minus 4x plus 4x minus 16. Okay, so no, we are going to have x minus 2 and x plus 2. So x minus 2 and x plus 2. So that will be, so you find the square root of x here, then you put minus sign. You find the square root of 4, 2. So the answer will give you x minus 2 and x plus 2. So you equate x minus 2 equal to 0, which will give you x equal to 2, or x plus 2 equal to 0, x equal to minus 2. So you can either have it as minus 2 or plus 2. So x is minus 2 or x is plus 2. So there is a formula which people call almighty formula, which you need to know about, which says x equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So you have minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. This is what people call the almighty formula. But this formula is formula used to find or solve quadratic equations. So in the case where, like I said at the beginning I said that all quadratic formulas, all quadratic equations follow this format, which I'm going to write on the board. They follow a particular format, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So here is a. So this a we have here is here. Here is b. Then here is c. So we have x equal to minus b. Let's go again. Minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So where a is this, b is this, c is this, and then you get your final answer.